Hi, thanks so much for taking a look at our programming project for this Visio document. Really appreciate you taking the time to, and my goal here is to make sure that I'm as clear as possible so you know what the requirements are, but also to help you be able to bid this better, estimate how many hours it's going to take you, because I do know that development can take quite some time. So let me get started and kind of first of all just give you an overview. First of all, we sell hosted VoIP phone systems to businesses, and so the goal of this Visio document and the corresponding Excel spreadsheet is to help visually design the call flow and work with our client and visually kind of map this out to how they want their phone system configured. So let me dive in here a little bit and kind of explain, um, what what this document's layout is like. So right now I've opened up the Visio document. You should be seeing the one of the first pages here. So you can see this is a template that we can reuse over and over. Um, so the incoming call during their open hours, during their closed hours, if an incoming call comes in on a holiday, what do they want done? If an incoming fax comes in, what do they want done? There's a tab here for revision history where and it just kind of maps out, when people make changes and what they made to the document. And then the background tab here, which applies to all these different pages. And this is specifically where we're going to be working. Let me go back to the first page just to give you an idea. The end user is going to be coming in here and selecting maybe different shapes like an auto attendant or a ring group or call queues, and they're going to be adding different shapes here to the page. But down below, the user extensions, they're already going to be entered in, and that would happen. Let me remove all these things we just added. That would happen over here on the background page. So what I need done and programmed is two buttons here. So I've just drawn out a couple images here that look like buttons. These really are not buttons. So the first programming that I would need done is if somebody clicks on the double page height, what I need done is the code to loop through every single one of these pages and basically, there we go. It's basically going to double the height of the page. So it's going to be 17 inches wide by 22 inches high. You can see that when we do that, the header here does not move up. So you would also need to move the header up like that. So now that would have to be done on every single existing tab or page here in the document. So we might be adding more, so you can't just hard code this to these specific pages. You just need to loop through all existing tabs here or pages and do this to every single document. And of course you'd be, let's see here, this would be programmed, but you'd be going in, changing the size. See, now that page works. So each one of these would have its size reconfigured. Okay, now let's go back. Let me undo all those changes. Just hit Control Z here. Get back to where we were. Okay. The second button that we need coded is the Load Users button here, over here on the bottom right. Okay. So there's a corresponding spreadsheet. Let me show you the spreadsheet real quick. Now I have put a kind of a dark blue background color on the columns and rows that you wouldn't be really looking at. I wanted to highlight the rows that you're going to be reading. And right now these rows, it starts on row 13 and it's column B, C, D, E, and F. And then you would keep reading all the way down till there's no more user information. So now this form allows up to 100 users to be entered. Oops, there we go. But like in this specific example, there's only 21 extensions. This next one here is blank, so you'd stop reading the rows. You can see here that it's the user's first name, last name, and there's this special drop-down box here for the extension type. So this is very important because this is going to tie into what you have to do in the Visio document, because we have different shapes, different images for the different type of user extension. So here's the drop down. So is it, NA is not applicable, but is it a man, a woman, an executive man, an executive woman, a break room, a conference room, a copier room, a file storage room, or just a generic user or generic room? Those are our options. So here's some that have already been set up, and this is a good example. So when the user clicks, let's go back to the Visio document. When the user clicks the Load User button, the first thing you need to bring up is a file dialog box to basically, where's the spreadsheet? So allow the user to traverse through the different files, pick a spreadsheet, and then you would start reading the spreadsheet on those specific rows. Now I have a corresponding Word document here that I'm also providing. Okay, so we've popped up the message. Now we're reading the rows, and now you're going to loop through reading these different columns. So I've got some documentation here to help you figure out what I want done. So now you're going to create the user shape on the background tab inside the user extensions container object. So here's the user extension container object. Let me pull up the stencil called TopDog Users. You can see here that we have shapes called Woman 1, Woman 2, all the way through Woman 19. And then we have a shape called Man 1, Man 2, Man 3, all the way up through Man 17. And then we also have Executive-M1, M2 and M3, and Executive W1 for woman, and Executive W2, Executive W3. Then we have a conference room shape, a copier room shape, a file room, and the generic user. Now each of the names of these match exactly to the names in the drop-down box. So this will allow us in the future, if we add a new shape, you're just going to be reading the shape description out of the drop-down box here in the Excel spreadsheet, and then look for that shape in the stencil. So in this case, as if it's a male, you're going to grab the first male shape, and it's going to get added in. So let me let's wipe this out. So initially, this will be enough for up to 20 users or rooms. And as you read the Excel spreadsheet, you grab the first man. If there's another man in the user spreadsheet, then instead of doing the same shape, you're going to grab Man 2. And then if it's a woman, you start out with Woman 1, and then Woman 2. And I'm getting my, there we go. And then maybe another man, so then you're going to go Man 3. Man 4, let's see, we got 2 women, so now we're at Woman 3, 4, so you get the idea, 5. So now let's zoom in on these real quick. Obviously you would set the extension depending on what their extension was here. So this Alan Smith is 115. There's no DID, and okay, so let's go to 115. There we go. No DID, so let's wipe that out. And his name was Alan. Like, really, that would do that to me in a video? Of course it would. Sorry about that. There we go. Now, if there was a DID over here for Alan, that's his 10-digit phone number was maybe 503-345-6789. So that's going to show up in the shape over here for Alan, like that. Okay, you go through each of those users in the spreadsheet and add them in. If there was a conference room, you'd add in the conference room. Now, as you get to the end of the row, and there should be we're trying for 20 to be user extensions to be added in this row. Once you hit 20, you're going to increase this container, move the 20 up, and start adding the next users down here on this second row. If you fill up the second row, that means there's over 40 extensions now. Then you need to double the height of the page. So that would be basically all the code to do that would already be programmed this button. So you just automate clicking that button to execute the code so that all the pages in the document, every single one of these, the height doubled. That would give us more room to actually start drawing out the flow, because if they had 100 extensions, this is going to be, about up to here, and we're going to need extra space because we're going to be putting in about probably 5 rows. Of course, these would be going all the way across to the end here. So you get the idea. I mean, this will get full, but we've got to double the height of the page, so there's more room. Okay, let's back that all out. Okay, I think that's it. Let me review the Word document here. Okay, there's the executives. You're gonna loop. There's 3 images or shapes for executives for women, and there's 3 for men. So you're gonna loop through those and use new ones. Oh, here's some examples right here that I put in this Word document, so you can kind of see the end result. If let's say we also want to be able to, if somebody decides to reload the users, then allow that to be done. So if they hit load users once, and now they've decided they want to hit load users again because they fixed something in the spreadsheet, then allow them to do that and start over. So basically, if they click on load users again, you would want to go in, remove all the user extensions out of this container object, and then start over from scratch and add them all back in. Also, if the double page height button has been clicked, so the page now is 22 inches high, I would like the text on the button to say normal page height. So if they click it, it will go back down to the normal page height of 11 inches high. That's it. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you. I hope I've done an okay job of explaining what I need done in this program, and I'm really excited to work with you, and thank you so much.